For 1,000 years the galaxy knew peace. The alien empires grew fat and arrogant, certain that humanity, small, scattered, silent, had been tamed. But when the armadas came to Earth demanding surrender, the humans didn't beg, they didn't kneel, they only laughed. And in that laughter, the galaxy finally understood what it meant to face a species that had turned survival into a weapon. The Hall of Concord had stood for 1,000 years, a monument of glass and starlight where the galaxy's empires once gathered in unity. But on this night, the chamber shook with fury. The banners of peace hung in tatters, their threads unraveling as the Dominion's warlords shouted over one another, scales glittering in the glow of the chamber's suns. At the center stood the human delegation, a small group in dark uniforms, silent as stone. Lord Vaykar of the Dominion slammed his clawed fist onto the dais. Humans have violated the Accord. Their colonies expand beyond sanctioned sectors. Their fleets multiply in the shadows. Their arrogance knows no bounds. We will break them before their corruption spreads. The chamber erupted in roars of agreement. Across the floor, alien diplomats hissed, growled, or chittered their assent. All eyes turned to the humans. The lead ambassador, a grey-haired man with the calm gaze of someone who had stared too long into storms, rose from his seat. He adjusted the insignia on his chest, not a symbol of nobility or conquest, but of Earth itself. His voice carried not anger, but something colder. "You say we violated the Accord," his words echoed in the silent chamber. "Perhaps we did, but let us speak plainly, my lords. Peace was never our shield, it was your leash." Gasps rippled through the chamber. A noble from the Seraphim Collective spat. "Do you not fear the might of the Dominion's fleets?" The human ambassador smiled, not the smee of a diplomat, but of a predator. "We don't fear your fleets. We've been waiting for them." The aliens recoiled. Some hissed in disbelief, others barked laughter, but the humans did not join in the noise. Instead, a quiet, unsettling chuckle escaped from one of the younger officers standing behind the ambassador. Then another joined. Within moments, the human delegation was laughing, low, controlled, deliberate. The Dominion lords bristled. What could possibly be amusing? The ambassador's eyes narrowed. "You call it war. We call it history. For 1,000 years you grew fat on peace, but for us, peace was training, and now, my lords, your nightmare begins." That night, the Dominion declared war on humanity, and across the galaxy, the sound of human laughter carried further than any war cry. The Dominion chose its first target carefully, a frontier colony called Halcyon's Reach. To the warlords, it was a perfect example, small, isolated, and defenseless. Their fleets arrived in force, 200 warships of black iron, engines trailing fire across the void. Their commanders expected a swift victory, orbit raised, survivors enslaved, and a message of terror carved into the stars. But when the Dominion fleet descended, the surface of Halcyon's Reach did not burn. It roared. Hidden silos cracked open across the colony plains, belching fire as missiles screamed into orbit. Civilian freighters, ships the Dominion had dismissed as harmless, unfolded armored plating and revealed plasma cannons bolted to their spines. From the shadows of nearby asteroid fields, a fleet of human warships emerged, not the old, outdated models the aliens had catalogued centuries ago, but sleek predators bristling with weapons unseen in any treaty. The Dominion admiral snarled as the first of his ships went dark, torn apart by crossfire. "Impossible! They were supposed to be unarmed!" Inside the chaos, human voices crackled over comms, clear and calm, even as fire filled the void. Some carried orders, others laughter, actual laughter. "Hold formation. Push the flank. Keep laughing, boys, they hate it." Alien gunners hesitated, unnerved by the sound. What kind of species laughed while staring into annihilation? The battle turned brutal. Humans used tactics the Dominion couldn't predict. Warships feigning retreat only to swing back with kamikaze precision, civilian craft exploding in sacrificial strikes that crippled enemy carriers. Every maneuver was reckless, yet terrifyingly effective. Hours later, half the Dominion fleet lay in ruins. The rest broke formation and fled, their commanders too shaken to continue. On the colony below, survivors emerged from bunkers to see human ships burning bright against the night sky. They had survived, not by chance, not by miracle, but because humanity had been preparing for this very moment for 1,000 silent years. A single message was transmitted to every Dominion channel before the humans powered down their weapons. You thought we were lambs, but we are wolves who learned to smile. The message spread faster than the battle reports, and in alien halls across the galaxy, whispers began. For the first time in centuries, the Dominion was afraid. The Dominion could not allow the defeat at Halcyon's Reach to stand. To preserve their pride, they assembled the largest fleet seen in centuries. 500 warships, each armed with weapons capable of glassing entire worlds. Their banners stretched across the void, a river of fire cutting through the darkness. The warlords told themselves this time would be different. This time the humans would be crushed. But humanity had been waiting for this moment. At the edge of the Perseid Rift, a narrow expanse of shattered moons and unstable gravity wells, the humans broadcast an open signal to the Dominion. Come and end us, if you can. The Dominion charged into the rift, confident in their numbers. Their admiral laughed as the first human fleet appeared. A mere 50 ships. Outnumbered 10-1. Annihilation seemed certain. Then the trap closed. Gravity mines hidden in the rift ignited, tearing ships from formation and dragging them into collision courses. Human warships darted between debris fields like sharks, striking from impossible angles. Plasma lances cut through Dominion hulls while swarms of drone fighters harried their engines. And through it all came the sound again. Laughter carried over comms, bleeding into Dominion channels. Push harder, they're breaking. Ha! Did you see that cruiser split in half? More targets coming. Keep laughing, brothers. Let them hear it. The Dominion soldiers panicked. Their formations crumbled as human vessels carved them apart with brutal efficiency. The laughter unsettled them more than the weapons did. It wasn't madness. It wasn't arrogance. It was confidence. Hours later, the rift burned with wreckage. Over 2/3 of the Dominion fleet lay scattered as glowing husks. The survivors limped away in silence, their channels filled not with victory chants, but with stunned disbelief. From the bridge of the human flagship, Admiral Serrano issued a final transmission to the entire galaxy. Fear was your weapon. You wielded it for 1,000 years, but today you learned. It belongs to us now. The words echoed across the stars, and everywhere, in every alien court, warlords whispered the same thing with dread. The humans are not fighting to survive, they are fighting to win. The Dominion High Council convened in secret, far from the burning front lines. Their voices, once booming with arrogance, were now low, trembling with unease. In 1,000 years of conquest, they had never seen fleets shattered so completely, never felt their soldiers break so quickly. And yet, what unnerved them most was not the weapons, not the traps, not even the scale of the defeats. It was the laughter. Again and again, captured transmissions echoed through the chamber, human voices laughing while ships exploded around them, pilots chuckling as they dove into battle, commanders smirking as they announced impossible odds. "This is not natural," one warlord hissed. "They mock death itself." Before debate could begin, the humans sent a message, not to the Dominion alone, but to every empire, every council, every system that had once dismissed them as harmless. On every screen, Admiral Serrano appeared, battle-scarred and calm, the faintest trace of a smile on her lips. "You wonder why we laugh," she said. "Why humans meet your war with amusement instead of fear. The truth is simple." She leaned forward, her eyes hard as steel. "For you, war is a tragedy. For us, war is tradition. It forged us, it raised us, it never left us." Her voice shut, her penned. "While you slept beneath your 1,000-year peace, we remembered our history. We remembered the wars that burned continents, the battles fought in the ashes of extinction. You gave us peace, and we used it to sharpen every blade, prepare every fleet, and teach every child what it means to endure." She let the silence stretch, then added, "Fear was your weapon, but we mastered it long before you ever looked at the stars." The transmission ended. Across the galaxy, empires trembled. Some began frantic talks of truce, others whispered of alliances, but the Dominion warlords stared into the silence and realized the truth. The humans had not just survived their onslaught, They had risen stronger. In the days that followed, a new phrase spread from soldier to soldier, system to system. The day the aliens declared war was the day humanity taught the galaxy to fear, and somewhere, in every shadowed council chamber, the sound of human laughter lingered.